Toth. Anyway, that's all I can see right now. So Toth, they just like start talking. It's like Toth. It's like anyway. So Crenshaw's been critical of a lot of the Republican stuff. He's a rhino, Republican in name only. He's done some really bad stuff. Did some really bad stuff to a Navy SEAL that was. Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jacob with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Do you think that there will be an alien invasion? I think there will be, but I don't think I have the effect. And I knew it was coming out. So theory that is compromised. Dan Crenshaw is compromised. Patch McCain, right? So he's got a patch on one of his eyes, lost one of his eyes in combat. Yeah, I think for service, but he's deep state, right? So yeah, you did some good, and now you're doing some very bad stuff. Now you're doing actually evil, so that not so good. Treason has a very narrow definition in the U.S. Constitution. Article 3, Section 3 defines treason as levying war against the United States or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. So, Dan Crenshaw giving aid and comfort to the Democrat Party. That would be me. Yeah, convicted. All right, execute. So, if you look at Gavin Newsom and what's that mayor's name? Not mayor of L.A. What's her name? L.A. mayor. Mayor Bass Boats, right? So, I would say both of those two knuckleheads are definitely in line for treason charges. All right, they're definitely waging war against the United States. Absolutely. So we're going to see, I think, a lot of this stuff start to focus in that direction. So there's like 3 states are sending troops to D.C., and I think a 4th one just joined in. I want to say, nope. Let me make sure. State sending troops to D.C. All right, it's not really saying it. 3 more GOP governors authorized deployment. Okay, I already got that. Or is it 3 more on top of the other ones? So yeah, it is. It is 3 more. So Mississippi, Tennessee, and Louisiana. So Mississippi is what I was thinking. So Tennessee and Louisiana. So that's like 6 different states now are sending troops to D.C. Now I think that D.C.'s going to get a little crazy. We've already seen a video of basically deep state puppets out there, harassing the National Guard troops that are in the streets trying to, keep everything good. And you have really good people out there that are, trying to do the right thing, and they're not being allowed to. All right. So deep state activity pushing, I think probably paying a lot of these people to come in, like they did crisis actors and all this kind of stuff. They pay them. They come in and, they spin people up, and they, give them all kind of stuff. They did this in L.A. That didn't work out because the troops were there. And you had National Guard protecting the police and ICE doing their job. And then you had to have Marines come in and protect the National Guard. All right. So is it going to come to that? So 6 states now sending National Guard. So the first National Guard, the first 100 or so, basically came in, or 1,000. They came in to basically lay the foundation and get everything set up. And now you're going to start to see, like I said earlier, more National Guard come in. And Trump has already said this model can be used in other places, other states, other cities. All right. So that I think is coming. I think that is definitely coming. All right. So yeah, there were some sound issues. It's good now, right? Right. Vampires, yes. Vampires in the wires. Okay, guys. So little that they're going to come after all of us. You know, we do the best we can to work through this stuff. But in the future, hopefully we get, because I'm like, you can see right there, right? So Elon Musk, you know, his little satellite dish, and it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. My internet, which I got the highest speed internet that I could get, it's on and off too. So it is what it is, right? Now, if I did like events where I came and would speak at events, they probably aerosolize me and people would try and pat me or shake my hand and, plant, all kinds of poisons on me like they've done already, right? So it's tough getting this information out. We've lived through this for 5 years now, and a little bit more. So it'll continue to be like that. So keep your eyes and ears open, stay in the love vibration, and I will see you guys next time.
As a therapist myself, I know how important it is to be able to have someone that you can talk to about your problems, to bounce ideas off of, process.
For billions of people, the Bible is the most important book ever written. But what if there is more to its message than the written word? What if there is a code hidden deep within the Bible's text?
These things were secret. The idea of hidden codes in the Bible was something you didn't speak about
Now, one man intends to expose those codes to the world.
If the codes are real, it would be completely mind-blowing.
I knew that whatever we would unravel in the code had to be a universal message for mankind.
Some of those messages speak of a world in turmoil. Others speak of peace. But one code goes even further, possibly pointing to the location of one of the world's greatest treasures, the lost Ark of the Covenant. Can it be found? And what divine messages could it reveal? And might it change the course of humanity? The answers may finally be revealed by the God Code. Every day, we move through a world shaped by codes. Electronic code surrounds us. Genetic code lives within us.
Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jacob with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Do you think that there will be an alien invasion? I think there will be, but I don't think it have the effect that they intend. So Werner von Braun, who was the head of NASA, and who basically came over from the Nazis, right? Did their rocket program, basically the V2 rocket, which was devastating England, more so than the bombing campaign that they had on England, right? So now these V2 rockets were, I guess, put together by slaves, a lot of them Jewish, down in underground tunnel systems, right? So Werner von Braun, now he told his assistant, Carol Rosen, before he passed away, and he made it very clear, the final card played by the New World Order would be the staged alien invasion. Keywords. So their last card, final card, they've tried everything. They tried storms. They tried corrupting politicians, with Jeffrey Epstein and, P. Diddy and who knows what else out there, Playboy. And I saw that Playboy's making a comeback. They're going to open another Playboy restaurant place where people go. They'll have the VIP spots. So a lot of like one of my buddies, when I was in San Diego, when I was younger, much younger, in my early 20s, at the San Diego Playboy Club, his girlfriend worked there, and she told him how when she would leave, because he would go there and walk her out to the car, because she said it was bad just getting to her car. There would be people out there waiting for her, and all the other Playboy playmates or whatever. And so she also complained that she was part of the VIP. She was pretty, very, very attractive woman. And she was part of the VIP group. So the VIP group, those guys basically could handle the Playboy, playmates or whatever. And it just finally started. I think it was San Diego, and she was part of it, that disclosed that. And then the Playboy Club started to come apart. So I don't know, maybe it's coming back. Maybe they'll do it right this time, but their brand really is, tarnished quite a bit. So will they be able to make a comeback? Now, speaking of making comebacks, Bud Light trying to make a comeback with what's that latest girl that everybody's hot over? She looks okay to me. So Sydney Sweeney, All right, Sydney Sweeney. So again, tarnished image, Bud Light. So they had the transgender guy that was like, all makeuped up and laying in the bathtub with a top on so you can see his boobies, right? And drinking Bud Light. And so I don't know. I don't like Bud Light anyway. I don't think it's going to happen. Sydney Sweeney, she's hot. She's hot right now. Everybody, I even said, I did a video where Sydney Sweeney's out at the range shooting. I was like, that's cool. She's cool girl, right? Of course, she's wearing the jeans and everybody's like, but I don't think it's going to work. I could be mistaken. I think maybe guys will go back and start to drink Bud Light because she's, promoting it. I said I said if Bud Light, like weeks ago, I said this, they may have a chance. But then I said, I hope that doesn't happen because I don't think they should give another chance. So I don't know. They're going to pay a lot of money, $10 million to change their image. Now, what's that jeans? I don't buy those jeans, never did. Whatever that jean company, she's got great jeans. And American Eagle, I think it was. Am I right? So American Eagle, I guess their stock like blew up when she's out there, prancing around, whatever. So American Eagle, thank you, Whiskey Tango, Foxtrot. So yeah, so they did really well, and they had, I never wore their jeans, don't intend to, but they have. It looks like they got great jeans. I don't know. So I was a Levi's guy, right? So and then a Lucky Brand, and I just buy whatever now. So I'm not trying to impress anybody. I like to wear good clothes, but I'm not going out to like get American Eagle because some hot girl wears them, so it doesn't work that way for me. So, but some people are. Some people will start to drink Bud Light again because she's drinking it, right? I say no. I say no to Playboy. I say no to wokeness, right? So we have some of these teams out there that are still pushing the woke agenda. They're pushing like no, what are they pushing in their end zones? They're putting all these things like I don't know, just say no to being a Nazi or I don't know, whatever. So they're putting stuff in the end zone, all these banners, and I'm like, these guys are pushing it hard. They're gonna get crushed by American people. They're going to stop going to these games and supporting these games. And when it starts to hurt their bottom line, maybe they'll get back on. But again, I say they're tarnishing their image to a point where there's no return. All right. There's no return. All right. So let's look at a little bit of this. All right. First of all, let's look into this hostile alien invasion. All right. Hostile alien invasion. Is it going to happen? If it does, we've already talked about this, guys. You already said it's going to be bullshit. And it absolutely will be. So there is no, why would aliens come and invade us? We're like so beneath them. It's like, why? They're not going to do it. It's like, it's beyond stupid. So if we're lucky, they'll come in like, and I think they have to a certain extent, help us out, help us undumb our. But I don't know. All right, so let's look at Elizabeth April. Elizabeth April does a really good job of remote viewing and so forth. Let's look at what she is saying right now and what she's seeing. So I've already told you that there's like this one giant rock that's flying here, and I think it's inside of this rock is a positive alien group. All right. So of course they're going to like, try and like, twist that and make it a negative. That's my take on this. There's a lot of people that have been talking about this. I might get Carrie Cassidy on. We'll talk about it a little bit deeper. But there is definitely a lot of spin that's going on, the deep state spin that's going on with this this giant rock coming in with these, I believe, positive ET rays that's coming here for our ascension, right? So I love it. So let's look at it.
There's a lot of speculation, and every time aliens are mentioned, or there's a scientist who maybe throws out the possibility that there's life out there, they are totally ridiculed, and then everyone just jumps to the fear-based, timeline. So we're going to straighten all of that out today. It was actually really interesting because it's actually not a comet. So we're going to get into that. And also I'm going to get into how I know that. But I wanted to actually first just start off by talking a little bit about the alien UFO community. So I want to say that I never wanted to be the alien girl. Okay. I never wanted to talk about aliens. I never wanted to mention my abduction.
All right. But she's an alien girl because she talked about it. Of course, I've talked on Gaia. I've been to Gaia, talked about my, secret space program, memories and so forth. They're there. The memories are just like, the way they come in, where you'll have a memory of something in your childhood or something, along those lines. Oh, I forgot all about that. So they creep in, and that's the way they do for a lot of us. I think they've used millions of us in the secret space program. I think that I was actually twinned and tripleted, and maybe even quadrupled, and made not a clone, but another of me, because I have like this energy that can really do some crazy stuff. So if you see me here, people used to call me Cyborg before cyborgs were popular. I mean, the real me, because I'm just like a machine. I just keep going. So probably this stems from some of this, I think, bleeding through of some of the secret space program stuff. So superhuman-like capabilities, I've exhibited them in many occasions. I've seen other people do those too, especially in my community, the special forces. I've seen absolute incredible things that people do. And now that I look back on it, I'm like, they're probably involved in the secret space program too. All right. So like I said, millions of us, eventually that will be revealed. We know that they can do MK Ultra stuff and, erase memories and all that kind of stuff. So she's talking about this. So they're calling it a comet, but it's a big rock that's basically, or it looks like a big rock that's a spaceship for these extraterrestrial beings that are coming here to Earth. All right. So they should be here soon, November-ish. So that's what she's talking about. Hostile alien invasion coming November. So what do we look for when we see something like this? What are the signs that we'll start to see? We'll start to see them as they have been doing over the last few years, revealing that, oh, yeah, we actually have had some very interesting craft that fly a lot faster, higher, and seemingly disappear, all kinds of crazy stuff. And our jet jockeys are out there, chasing them around. They can't get close to them. And they're saying they're doing maneuvers that there's nothing out there that we know of can do these things. All right. So they're planting the seeds. They're planting the seeds. Because we've talked about, I remember as a little kid, and even into my teenage years, everybody's like talking about, ETs, extraterrestrials and alien craft. And I remember I had a buddy, his father was a pastor, and we would come out and we look up in the stars. And of course, he's a pastor, you'd think that he wouldn't go there, but he was totally into it. He was a cool guy. But you know, a lot of us have been looking at this stuff for years. It's not anything new. I think most people at this point believe in ETs. I mean, why wouldn't you? God, it's like at this point. So, you know, there's so many things that, you know, bring that in. Of course, you know, me and other, you know, secret space program people are talking about all this stuff. Some of them maybe feeding the consciousness with BS, which I know that they do. And that's basically to like turn people off. So they do the same thing with the alien stuff. They come in and, you know, they do these movies where aliens come in and basically War of the Worlds and all that kind of stuff and make aliens appear to be really bad. Well, the aliens already invaded and they already took over the earth, and we are actually overcoming them. That's the Draco reptilians, right? So they invaded and took us over long ago, all the way back to Atlantis time frame. So it is, and it's fall of consciousness, and now that consciousness is rising, we're seeing through their games, we're seeing through their manipulations. Yes, they have very high-tech capabilities, directed energy weapons, HARP, and all these different things. And those are the ones we know of, right? Those are the ones that we've talked about and we know of. Of course, they have far more high-tech stuff. That's just what they let their little minions, puppets use. But they have something much more. Now, I think a lot of these things are basically being restricted from being used on Earth by positive ETs, all right? So that's a bigger picture of all of that. You know, I've been down these rabbit holes. I've done shows on this with a lot of great people. But it is spectacular to know that at some point we will start to work with them again on a much greater level. Now, there are definitely some people out there that do work with them and do communicate with them. All right. So there's people that channel them and, you know, work with them and all kind of crazy stuff, see them, interact with them. So I've been at some point, it'll become more commonplace, you know, as more people raise their vibration and as more people get to the point where they're not freaked out by this stuff, we'll be able to, you know, really take this to another level. And I think we're getting close to that. So alien invasion coming, probably, but it will look so hokey. Now, when I saw the airplanes crashing into the 9/11 aircraft crashing into the building, I was like, that is like, I don't know what that is, but that ain't real, right? That ain't real. And the explosions and the buildings dropping in their footprint, and then all of the other stuff that was happening, the buildings basically disappeared. There was just ash. It was just white dust. The buildings disappeared into white dust all up and down the streets of New York. All right. So there's definitely some high-tech activity that happened on that day. Now, how many of you knew, and I was just talking to someone yesterday about this, how many of you knew there was a Category 3 earthquake, or not earthquake, but hurricane right off the coast of New York during 9/11? Raise your hand if you knew. Not a lot of you, I can see, right? So there really was. You can look it up. What do you think the name of that hurricane was? Take a wild guess. What hurricane is happening right now? Aaron. Funny that, right? So these clowns, they like to play their games. We have to be a little bit more ahead of them. So if you start to see their machinations, Machiavelli, right? Machinations. If you see them starting to play their little effed up games, you need to call them out. You need to start to say, you know what? That's BS. Right? That's not cool. That's not cool. Yes, Aaron, E-R-I-N. Look it up. In fact, heck, I'll just show you guys. Let's see. The earthquake. Not earthquake. No. The hurricane. And it's, why is it always a hurricane? Why not a hurricane? So, you know, my wife today, we're doing a LifeWave show, and she's like, we don't manifest, we womanifest. And I was like, you go, girl. So all these, manipulated names and all that kind of stuff. Hurricane. So I don't know why, a crazy spinning vortex of a storm called a hurricane, So, well, many of us men could tell you, but not openly, but the hurricane off New York during 9/11. So look it up. Of course, I'm going to show you. So here it is. Let me share the screen. So you guys are not like, what? It's like, yeah. Like, duh, you guys haven't been studying. Right? Right here. Okay, on September 11, 2001, of course, while the tragic events of 9/11 attacks unfolded, Hurricane Erin, a category, it wasn't, look at that. It's bullshit right there. It was a Cat 3. Wow, they changed it right there. What a bunch of bullshit. Holy moly. See, that's how they work this bullshit. I'm so disgusted. AI sucks. Right? So, and who knows? Maybe it's a Mandela effect and they've already changed it. And then everybody's like, yeah, what are you talking about, Mike? That was a Cat 1. It's like, no, it's a Cat 3. And then so we have the argument, and then we look it up and it says Cat 1. And you're like, see, I win. So I remember when the internet came out, we in the SEAL teams, we'd have these heated debates, right? We'd have our team rooms, and guys would be, out. You get a bunch of alpha males together. You guys are alpha males out. You know what I'm talking about. You alpha women, you know what I'm talking about. So you get together and you're like, no. This is what happened. And yeah, this is this, and then you get the guys arguing about it. And then we go to the newspapers or whatever, figure it out, and then come back the next day or so. See, I was right. And then when the internet came out, oh my God, it was like settled right away. All right. So this is what we're doing now. Now, was that a Cat 3 or was it a Cat 1? So I know it was a Cat 3 back in the day, but now they're saying it's a Cat 1. Wow. Fake news. That's right. Fake news. It's just fake everything. And you know why they do that? Confusion, right? And they seed the consciousness with this stuff. They'll even go in and buy up everything. They'll buy up all the news organization. Well, they own them. Why would they buy them? Well, they'll okay, that was a Cat 3. Remember how reporting that? Now you're going to report it as a Cat 1. So then they start, and on 9/11 off the coast was a Cat 1. And everybody's like, I thought that was a Cat 3. And then they keep repeating it. You look it up. It's like Cat 1. Mandela effect. And they F with us all the time. I see this all the friggin' time. Yeah, the Mandela effect. It's so ridiculous. Right? Who's that? That Spanish guy that was married to the redhead that was comedian. It's so ridiculous. Ricardo, what was his name? Ricky Ricardo, and he was married to, what was that redhead's? Ricky. That's right, Ricky. What was his wife's name? The comedian, Desi Arnaz. Was it Desi Arnaz? Desi Arnaz. Okay, Ricky Ricardo, Desi Arnaz, Lucy. Yeah, Lucille Ball. So I love Lucy. Yeah. So Ricky would come in. My horse and carriage is for hire, senorita. So he'd like sing, kind of like Elvis. He'd just sing, and everybody loved him because he was a hot Italian or Spanish guy. So Lucille Ball, those are fun days, right? So now they're not fun days like they used to be now. They're just like total, all right? Total, everything. My horse and carriage is for hire. Cat 3. All right. So yeah, like right now, Erin's a Cat 3. So it's like, yeah, it's just crazy, right? So when we see this stuff, we have to learn to like distinguish between the bullshit and the little pieces of truth that they're going to put out there, right? Because they're always going to feed a little bit of truth in there. So some people were like, there wasn't a hurricane off the coast there. I never heard of that. And then they'll look it up and they're like, yeah, there it is. It's Hurricane Aaron. Kind of like Hurricane Aaron that's running off the coast right now. How about that? And when was the last time they had an Aaron? Probably that was it. And did it, were they intending on this Aaron to be like devastating? And it's not. And they're maybe a little frustrated about that. I don't know. So if they're trying to like wing these hurricanes in and they're not being able to be successful because somebody else has some good technology that counters it, then they have to go with the last thing that they planned, because they planned these things out, right? And they'll take stuff out and brush it off. Like 9/11 was a Northwoods operation, Operation Northwoods. Now, Operation Northwoods was planned back during JFK's time frame. So all of the top generals and the CIA and the FBI, they all came to Kennedy and said, hey, dude, let's do, we need to spin up a little war action here with us in Cuba. And to get that going, we're going to do this. We're going to crash planes. Sound familiar? We're going to crash planes. Cubans are going to be involved in it. Just like, they involved, people from the Middle East. There was nobody on those planes. Unfortunately, well, the planes that crashed, there was no planes. Those were planes. There's a missile hit the Pentagon, and they planted whatever it was that crashed out there in Pennsylvania, and because it doesn't hold up to reality, right? So planes don't crash like that. Of course, everybody's like, well, that guy was on the phone and he was saying that they were going to rush the cockpit, and then it went down. And then they were spreading that a jet had come up, and they didn't know that those guys were going to take it down, and they like crashed it. They shot a missile up its ass and took it down. All kind of bullshit out there, right? So this is what they do. So Operation Northwoods was during the Kennedy time frame, and they're like, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do terrorist attacks on Americans. And Kennedy was like, you friggin' guys are insane, like we know they are now. And so he's like, you guys are insane, get the F out of here. And so they killed him. And then they put it in in the back burners, they hid it. And then it was like, oh, we got Bush, the Bush family, they'll work with us. Let's dust it off and let's use it. So then they used 9/11, Operation Northwoods, right? So this is what these clown towns do. We have to be vigilant and make sure they don't do their bullshit, right? So they're trying their bullshit, and they're going to continue to do that until we exterminate them, all right, from the face of the earth, all right? So they need to go to Guantanamo and get hung and shot and all that kind of stuff. But until then, I believe it's coming. I believe it's already happened for some of them. They keep it on the down low. So if you were like, going after criminals, let's say you were like a detective, and you found out, all right, here's where the criminals hang out, and we're gonna take the big daddy. We're gonna take Hillary. We're gonna get her out, right? Remember how they like escorted her out in during 9/11 memorial service? So they escorted her out. She goes, whoop, bye. And then the next day it's like Hillary Clinton, 2 feet shorter and 30 years younger. I'm okay. So she had no detail around her, and she gets in a car, and then boo. So Hillary's okay for the knuckleheads out there. Don't follow this stuff. Don't have a clue. All right. So yeah, we're gonna continue to see these guys play this game, Operation Northwoods. They did that. So we've already been told that they're gonna do an alien invasion. So yeah, they're gonna do an alien invasion. Their hurricanes, we'll see how effective they are this year. Because Hurricane Milton, at the last minute, they shut that baby down. It's talk that they dropped a bunch of ice cubes, right? So globes of ice down into it. And that basically because they need heat, and they spin. And if you like put dry air or, you know, cold air or something like that, it just like kills a hurricane. So at the last minute, they dumped ice crystals into it, and it basically shut it. It went from a Cat 5 to like a Cat 1 or Cat 2. And then they're like, oh, well, while we have this here, let's take this over to Disney World and flood that thing. Right. So that flooding Disney World for one of the first times ever. So, so the White Hats, they got something, but they have to do it very quietly. All right. Because these guys still have a little bit of an edge. So if, let's say, like I said, you're a detective and you got your, like, you know, your team, and you're like, okay, we're going to take this one out. You're going to go in and guns blazing, and then everybody knows, oh shit. And then they run away, and then they tell everybody, and it's like, oh, they're killing us. We're going to have to like get crazy with them. And so if somebody just disappears, like Hillary, and then somebody else comes along like, I'm Hillary. It's like, no, you're not. And I'm Bill Clinton. No, you're not. Or I'm Joe Biden. No, you're not. And so we see all this stuff. So somebody's getting snatched, snatching those, snatch them, get them out of there. Right? Get them to Guantanamo or somewhere else and put them to trial, execute them, get them out of there. Right? They're horrific people. So they've been doing this to humanity for, I mean, look at 9/11. Thousands of people died. Right? They don't give a shit. They want to like start a war. They're going to start a war. All right. They started a war with the Middle East. They were going to start a war with Cuba, but Kennedy wouldn't have any of it. So they like blew his head off, you know? So, oh, you're not going to play around. We'll show you, we'll show everybody else that won't play with us. Right. So now we're getting to the point where they're failing everywhere. Trump and team have been like slow walking and take that one, take that one, take that one, you know, whoop, whoop, you know. So, oh, where did Hillary go? That doesn't look like Hillary. Yeah, the Hillary now is like, you know, I'll put Trump in for a, you know, peace prize or whatever, and if he can like get Zelensky to stop and Russia to stop, and Russia gives all their land that they died for, that was always theirs to begin with. If they give it back to Zelensky, then I'll put you in for the peace prize. And what? Like, you're not even close to being what Hillary looks like, you know, get the F out of here. So games, lots of games being played. So what would be the ultimate game? The alien invasion game, because they've already shown us that they can like project stuff. They did that with the planes crashing, aluminum planes crashing into a steel building and disappearing into the steel building and then blowing up in the steel building, then the steel and one side. But magically, that building collapses altogether into its footprint and disappears mostly. Like, what? No. And then building 7, which they're like, yeah, the steel can burn, can melt with, you know, the airplane kerosene level, you know, stuff that we put in the fuel for planes. Yeah, it'll melt steel. No, it won't. Right? No, it won't. Not all across one platform, and then pancake down just perfectly. You know, if it was just off just a little bit, it would just start to, and then the rest of the building would stay. But it pancaked down into a perfect controlled demolition. Right? I said it on the day I watched it go down. It's like somebody got in there, put explosives in there. I'm a demolition expert. I looked at it as like, yeah, somebody got in there, put, you know, and then we learned about thermite and all that kind of stuff, burning. And then we started to see the results. Of course, they took all that metal and they took it over, and it's like, no one can look at it. Don't look at this. And then they took all that metal, it was all twisted and directed energy weapon attacked, and you know, thermited and all kind of crazy stuff, and blown to pieces. And they put it in a site, and then they shipped it off to China, and China melted it all down. Evidence gone. So yeah, these are horrific criminals, and execution's not good enough for them. There should be something else, right? Some kind of pain. It's probably out in the galaxy somewhere. They have some kind of special. We had a special like pain for you, for all the pain that you've created for a lot of people, and misery and horrificness of, you know, child trafficking and adrenochrome and sacrificing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, not even a wood chipper, Silver Pimp. That would be that's quick, somewhat. They do it feet first, of course. It's going to take a little bit, but and do it on slow chip. It's like, oh, that would be tough. And that would be really tough. The screaming would be like, see, I wouldn't want to be involved because the screaming would be just like, nah, we got to do something else. And I don't know. I guess I'm like going off on a wild tangent. That's probably never going to happen. But anyway, it should. It should. Okay, so constitutional expert warns U.S. academia now so corrupted that no one works. It doesn't work anymore. It's just out of control. Out of control. Yep. Even harming liberal college students. That's hard to imagine, but it's happening. Dozens of Democrat-led states sue Trump admin for tying crime victim funds to immigration enforcement. Hello. So, if you're having all this stuff happen to victims, and it's tied to immigration, the illegal immigrants are doing it. You have to be like doing some kind of enforcement there. So they're not doing it. And if they're not doing it, then you're not going to get funds, right? That you're stealing and putting into your, money laundering it and all that kind of stuff. We know that they do that. Democrats going away soon. All right. Trump meets with Zelensky in the Oval Office today to discuss lasting peace ahead of trilateral negotiation. Now, trilateral, basically, he said today that, that Europeans there, he had Zelensky there. He didn't come in a suit. He came in like a T-shirt. Trump said, come in a suit. He came in a T-shirt. All right. Dead man walking. Not because he came up with a T-shirt, because he's like, F you, So you're going to find out. You're going to find out, little man. Little, high heel, latex pants wearing mofo, dance around with other gay men, whatever. So it's coming that this guy is going down. He's going down. He won't survive. I promise you. At some point, when all the peace is there and they do fair elections in Ukraine and he's out immediately, he's going to go run somewhere and Russia's going to track his ass down and execute him, right? They'll probably come out with, like, now for the Russians, this is the way they do it. I kind of like this, all right? For the people that really deserve it, they have some kind of plutonium that they put in their, around them. And then they do the slow death, right? Waste away. That's the way the Russians do it. Now, that might be coming for Zelensky. So if you see at some point Zelensky, when he's gone from Ukraine, which he will be eventually, and you see him do the slow death thing, it's like, yeah, Russia got him. Russia's going to get him. They're going to get him. He's a dead man walking. So yeah, have your little fun, flip everybody off and do your own thing. Don't be part of the team. It's coming for you. All right. Your days are numbered. So that's we coming for Zelensky. So the trilateral negotiations will be because Zelensky's now, after meeting, Trump said, yeah, the meeting with European leaders and Zelensky was good. Right. So now Zelensky's going to meet with Putin. Ooh, wow. Putin's going to be like, like the bear. You're going to have like the bear and the little chihuahua, right? the bear and the little chihuahua. Who do you think would win in that fight? Right. So, yeah. So they're going to have a little conversation. And if Zelensky doesn't screw it up, then Zelensky, Putin, and Trump get together, and then they call it quits, I guess. I don't know. We're not going to do any more war. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, remember, I said that Trump is going to talk to Putin. He's going to be like, how much longer do you need to completely annihilate the Ukrainian army? And he's going to be like, maybe this much. And Trump would be like, okay, we can do these talks and this talk, and then a little delay, maybe something happens somewhere and we can't get together because something happening, and that'll give you a little bit more time. You think I'm going to be good enough? And he's like, we're almost there. We're almost there. Putin's like, we're almost there. You know, the Putin has basically told the Azov force, army, whatever, that's a Ukrainian Nazi group, the hardcore Nazi group, the best trained fighters in Ukraine are now surrounded. And Putin has said, surrender or die, right? It's your choice. Well, we know what the Nazis do. They usually fight to the end, right? So that would be good, because we don't want these guys to live and go on to fight again another day. I'm a warrior. If I know somebody's really bad and they don't like to work with other people well, I would just annihilate them, right? That's what I did in past lives. I've been kings in past lives. It's been great. So my armies would annihilate, Ukrainian armies. So yes, I've been Russian. All right. So we'll probably see this thing stretch out just a bit. It's not going to get done overnight. So the Ukraine-Russia thing is probably going to stretch out. That'll give, like I said, Russia time to really annihilate the Ukrainian army. So somebody said, Mike, I found on Facebook that it was a Cat 3. Good job, Maria. So good job, Maria. Just met a girl named Maria. So not saying to you, I know. Yeah, it's just popped into my head, Maria. Sorry. Not trying to get anything going here. But yeah, thank you very much. That's good. Happily married man. Yes. Russia. Yeah. So Russia still going on. It's insane, isn't it? For how long now? 8 years? Russia. And so who's getting the last laugh? Russia. So, yes, we're kicking your ass. United States under the Democrat Biden regime, we kicked your ass. And same thing with you NATO communist people in Europe. Kicked your ass. You couldn't handle it. And then we kicked all the Ukrainian ass and killed them off. You know what they got going on now, guys? Now, this is like Terminator stuff. In Ukraine, they have robots that are fighting. They've been doing this for a while, but now they're getting more high tech. So I saw videos of these, and the Russians are having a hard time taking out these robots. And they were going down streets hunting, and they find something wah, and they're made of titanium, so the bullets are bouncing off them. It's crazy. So what I'm hearing is 15,000 robots are coming into Ukraine. I don't know who's making them. Wonder who's making them. I guess we'll find out at some point. But here we are with this drone war. Guys can't be out in the open because drones are always hunting, and they'll come in one-man drones. They'll come in and just blow up one person, kill one person. It's like a sniper, with a drone. It's crazy. And getting pretty crazy. 2.2 quake today near Blytheville, Arkansas. Yep, heating up, isn't it? Those quakes are quaking off everywhere. Cracking quakes. All right, so it's going to keep intensifying. So yeah, we're going to Terminator. Absolutely. Terminator. And of course we got Skynet already, right, with Elon stuff. And who knows, man. It's if they come out with the robots, because I know they got robots out there, big ones, bad ass robots. So if the Alien invasion doesn't work, and they flood us with robots. Eesh. Oof, oof, oof. That's gonna be tough. All right. I have a feeling I might be in the back burner. So we'll see. We'll see what these guys do. All right. So the Bud Light stuff is so funny. So is she gonna, what was that? Dylan, like little Dylan, prettying himself up, put lipstick on. It's like, now he's a woman. Whatever. But they didn't need to, like, make it into a theme for Bud Light. So of course, Bud Light, that's football stuff, right? They want to bring it in for the football stuff because the football guys, the owners and so forth, are all deep state. So they're trying to push that agenda. So now they've taken it to the next level. Instead of like backing off after Bud Light, got hammered. Their sales were down like 30%, even still to this day, like down 30%, maybe even more. That's one of the things I saw. But male cheerleader mocks MAGA NFL meltdown. The Minnesota Vikings, right? They're disrespecting Vikings. They're disrespecting Vikings big time, right? Because Vikings were incredible warriors. Even, women, they were badass. So everybody got trained. It was the same thing in Greece, the Spartan. So the Spartan women also trained to be warriors too. And when the men would go off to fight, the women would protect the town. There was a time where, Sparta was under attack, and the women came out and kicked their ass and sent them running. So that's not what we're seeing right here, though. These are not manly men, right? They're posing as women. So that's a problem here, because, men adore women, right? But we don't like this little sissy stuff, interfering here, right? Like this guy. That is not cool, right? So we normally look at cheerleaders as like, I remember when I was in high school, the cheerleaders were like, they were badass, So if you were dating a cheerleader, yes, then you were somebody, right? So I like the cheerleaders like me. It was great. I played football and soccer, but I was a manly man, I was a manly man. Even as a teenager, I was a manly teenager. And that's not what we're seeing anymore. This push to do this wokeness is not cool. All right. So you see the women in here. There's a man in the women. So why Minnesota Vikings? Why do you do this stuff? And then, of course, here's the other not manly man. So you look at the women. The women are like, they're what, men like. They're like beautiful. They're have great figures and so forth. I don't know what happened with the. Let me go back. Right, what happened to my? It just started going into like children, and it's like, what? Damn it! All right, let's see if this goes back there. Male, there. Okay, so like what? So here we have the not manly men hanging out with beautiful women that, those of us that are men, we like to put beautiful women on a pedestal, right? Yay, beautiful women. And we adore them. But you throw this in, it's like it sullies that, right? It mars it. It creates negativity. And us men, we don't like that, right? So, I mean, look, here's a beautiful woman. And I don't know what the thing is with the little girls here, but, of course, little girls want to grow up be cheerleaders too, I guess. And they are. So we have, the epitome of a beautiful woman, more beautiful women, and a guy. What is going on? I say, walk the F away. I've been saying this for a long time. to walk away from football because it's all corrupt. They already know who's going to win, guys. I've been telling you guys for years. I know a lot of you guys have listened and you've walked away, but this should be the last straw. This should be it. And now, are they going to get like Sweeney to come in here and be a cheerleader to like overcome this negativity? Again, I say once you've, you know, picked this thing out, you can't put lipstick on it, right? You can't make it beautiful. It's a pig. You made it into a pig, and now it's done, right? You're done. We don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I haven't cared about football, and it's like as time goes on, I care about it less and less and less and less. It's just so corrupt. It's so disgustingly bullshitty, right? All right. So the Azov faces doom. Putin demands their surrender or total destruction. So, like I said, they are like, you know, so like it's, you have your best fighters are about to get wiped out. They're either going to get wiped out or going to get captured. One or the other, right? So they're your best fighters. So then what do you got? Robots. You don't have any more good men left. You got robots, all right? So robots can't think on their own. They're programmed. So the Russians, I promise you, the Russians will figure this one out very quickly. Remember how I used to say Russians need to quit, you know, going straight in and getting annihilated. They need to do the pincer movement thing. So I don't know. I guess they listened to me, or somebody smart, you know, told them, hey, this. And they did it. They did entire sentences big, like gobbling up. That's fantastic. Like the I'm sorry, not breaking President Biden's update on the next. Like I said, but try they'll determine. That trilateral meeting. Something else looking for it, but three of them. Now this is kind of a cool picture to share it, because I think when the European Union people showed up was so, and I'm watching Italy got out, and there's like door. There's a guy holding a flag. He's all, and then they have the Italian flag, and then when she walked in, white flag, flag, Union up.